Hey everybody, Jeff Mackerlin here, and today I want to talk about why Bach's music is so influential on rock guitar. Not just shred, rock guitar in general. So let's check it out. Hey everyone, Jeff Mackerlin here, and today I'm going to talk about the harmonic minor scale and what you need to know to be able to apply it in your own playing. Right off the top, I played the first few bars of the famous Bach chaconne in D minor. I'm not professing to be a classical guitar player, I just love the harmony and I love Bach's music. If you're not familiar with the music of Johann Sebastian Bach, I highly recommend you check him out. You probably know much of his works if you're not a fan already. When you start to dig deeper, the absolute brilliance of his music in every way is really mind-blowing, an absolute genius, and the way he influenced Western music, it cannot be diminished in any way. To me, he is my favorite composer. Always come back to Bach for inspiration. So the scale is harmonic minor. The main thing you want to do is get used to the sound of harmonic minor, and I'm going to play two chords that are distinctly very harmonic minor. When you have a one minor chord, in this case we're in the key of D minor, I have a D minor chord, and I'm going to go to it's 5 dominant 7 chord, or 5 major chord. So what does that mean? I'm going to go up 5 notes in my scale of D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you look at your power chord on the guitar, there's your 5, A major to D minor. What makes this so distinctive is the real pull of this 5 major chord resolving to a 1 minor chord. So this is the sound that is harmonic minor. It's a very distinct sort of sound. Let's talk about the origins of the scale. It was more created chordally, I believe, as opposed to as a scale, and the scale is a little bit secondary to the actual chord progression. So for instance, the key of D major, your 5 chord in the key, or any major key, is going to be a dominant 7th chord or a major chord. So from the key of D major, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, our 5 is going to be A. D, E, F sharp, G, A. We're going to make that an A major chord and resolve it to our D major chord. Really common, it's a perfect cadence. Sounds great. One of the most common chord changes in Western music. But when you do that in minor, so from the key of a D minor, which is D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, our 5 chord in the key of D minor would be A minor. So in D Aeolian or D natural minor, our 5 chord is A minor. It's a D minor. So we lose that really strong pull of that 5 chord or 5 dominant 7 resolving to a 1 minor. We lose that. We want that really strong resolution. So what they did in about the Baroque period, Bach's time more or less, they borrowed from the major scale. That would make your 5 chord major. So they went A major to D minor. Or by extension, A7 to D minor. If you're not familiar with your major triads or minor triads, I have a number of courses available on them over at JM Guitar Lessons. You can use the link below for a special sale on the triad bundle, mastering major triads, mastering minor triads, soloing with major triads, and soloing with minor triads. If you get your triads basically together, a lot of this stuff is going to be very easy to do. So you can go over and check that out over at JM Guitar Lessons and sign up for YouTube freebies as well. Also, if you like the channel, please like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. So what is the D harmonic minor scale? Well, a natural minor scale is spelled root 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. But if you know one, probably played that a million times, you just want to raise up the 7th a half step. So when we play this A major chord, we now have a C sharp in the chord. I have to account for that note in the scale, right? So the scale would normally have a C natural, D minor, has a C natural, but we want to get that stronger resolution of the A7 or the A major chord resolving to the D minor chord. So I need to raise up the C to a C sharp. That becomes leading tone. So we really have that really distinctive sound. Of the the harmonic minor scale. So now going back to J.S. Bach, a very famous example is going to be Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Hear that sound? It's right off of a D harmonic minor scale. A, G, F, E, D, C sharp, D. To my ears, I'm hearing the harmony as D minor to A, back to D minor. Here's my D minor, A, back to the D minor chord. So by playing those two chords, my pitches are a little off, but I hear that sound. Very important to understand and hear that sound. Like, oh, it's so many songs. Two that always jumped out to me: Hotel California, Sultan's Swing, two very popular tunes that use this sound. Countless tunes. Put your list of songs, if you have any recommendations, in the bottom. There are so many of them. I just want to stick to a little bit of the Bach idea and how this all works. Another cool example of the D harmonic minor scale is used by Bach in Invention number 4. We're going to check out the first few measures. So what Bach is doing is he's outlining essentially the same harmony. So ascending, we're playing 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6. And in our downbeat, we play the C sharp. Ba, 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 the simplest way to view this harmony is going to be the D minor to A7, back to D minor. D minor triad inversion, F, A, D, G, C sharp, E. So I'm basically going D minor, A7, D minor. Rephrasing the same line, up an octave, genius of course, just the same two chords. So let's figure out what are the chords of harmonic minor. Like any chord scale, we're going to take the notes and we're going to harmonize them in thirds. So if we take the notes of our D harmonic minor scale, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C sharp, and harmonize them, we're going to get the following chords. 1 minor, so D minor. 2 diminished, so we have E diminished. 3 augmented, so it's F augmented. Pretty cool. 4 is going to be G minor. Not very exciting, but it works, of course. 5, major, A major. Flat 6 major, so that's B flat major. Then we have the natural 7 diminished 7th. Back to our 1 minor. So let's hear that together. So now if I want to stretch the harmony a little bit further into 7th chords by adding another third on top, I'm going to come up with these. My first chord is going to be D minor major 7. Next chord is going to be E half diminished or E minor 7 flat 5. That's the 2 chord. Our flat 3 chord is flat 3, so it's F major 7 sharp 5. Then we go to our 4 chord is going to be G minor 7. Our 5 chord is A7. Our flat 6 major 7, so it's B flat major 7. Then we go to C sharp diminished 7th. That's our natural 7 diminished 7th chord. Back to a 1 minor D minor chord. So let's hear that together. So now you're probably thinking, okay, I'm not going to remember any of that. Where am I going to use that? That's like crazy theory stuff or something. You'll get it. It just over time, you start to hear it, you get used to it. So the fantastic Bach chaconne that I played the intro of at the beginning of the video is based upon 4 chords. It's pretty cool. Our 4 chords are going to be D minor, which is our 1. Our 2 chord, which is E minor 7 flat 5, or also called E half diminished. Our 5 chord is A7, and we have the flat 6 major chord, which is going to be B flat major. So our first chord is the D minor, D, F, A, in our root position. Then Bach does something beautiful. Of course, he goes to the E minor 7 flat 5 chord in the third inversion, so the flat 7 of that chord in the bass. So what's beautiful about that, we have our D chord, and we have this, the D note right there. That remains the same as we change. Now our notes are going to be, there's our flat 7, which is the D, G, B flat, and E. The chord from top to bottom is E, G, B flat, D. So there's our flat 7 in the bass. So now when we move to our A7 chord, the beauty of voice leading and common tones. Amazing, right? So we have this E minor 7 flat 5 with D in the bass. So we have the D, G, B flat, and the E. And then to go to A7, A, C sharp, E, and G, we're going to our first inversion. It's a great inversion. So we have C sharp in the bass, G, A, and E. There's A7, but the movement is beautiful. You have the 2 common tones and the 2 moving tones. Amazing. It's D minor and a B flat scale tone. So next we have this really cool voicing of G minor. G, D, and B flat. That's the 4 chord in our key of D harmonic minor. To D minor, which is D, F, A. So we have a beautiful voicing of the D minor again. A, F, and A, leaving out the root. Here is A7 again. We have C sharp and the G, part of our A7 chord, little ornamentation. Back to our D minor chord. So as you can see, absolutely stunning music from J.S. Bach. So how can I steal from that? Well, if we think about jazz, right? What's our chord progression, guys? 1, 2, 5, 1. 2-5-1. If you know anything about jazz or popular music, the 2-5-1 is the most common chord progression in jazz and early jazz. Adding in that B flat, we hear it in rock and roll all the time. Basically what's happened. A perfect example of this is the solo section from Mr. Crowley by Ozzy Osbourne. Unfortunately, I cannot play you that music because Sharon and Ozzy will demonetize and give me a copyright strike. But I can talk about the chord changes. So I have D minor to B flat, C, D minor, B flat, E minor 7 flat 5, A7, A major to D minor. So we've got that harmonic minor. Now the trick is, in a tune like that, the only place where you really want to use the harmonic minor is when you need it, and that is on the A7 chord. That's also what happens in Sultans of Swing, right? The only time I really want to use this harmonic minor sound is when I'm on the A7 chord. Well, why is that? Well, I'm playing D minor, C, B flat. I have a C chord. I don't want to play the C sharp until I absolutely need it. And the only chord that really requires that I use the C sharp is the A7 chord. All right, I know that's a ton of info on the harmonic minor scale and lots of things to think about. It can be a little overwhelming. The main thing, as I said, is just to start off with playing, in this case, a D minor triad to an A major triad. Go between those two, play those 2 chords, loop you playing those 2 chords, and just experiment soloing over the top of it. The sound of the scale becomes very, very distinctive. So when you hear it in other music, you'll identify it immediately. Put on some Bach. It's Cotton Fugue in D minor, Little Fugue in G minor. Pretty much anything that's from Bach, it's going to be in a minor key, we'll borrow and we'll use harmonic minor. Try to identify that sound. Certainly Paganini's 24th Caprices, though those are all use harmonic minor at some point if they use the minor section. Very, very common. I will do some more videos on heavy stuff like Yngwie and Ritchie Blackmore and all my favorite guys, Uli Roth, using the harmonic minor scale and its related modes. But this one, I just wanted to give you an intro and where the sound's coming from. And we'll check out also how we can use this stuff in blues coming up. Once again, if you're not clear on your triads, please check over to JM Guitar Lesson. You get a triad bundle below. Great sale on that to get your triads together. So until the next time, I'm Jeff Mackerlane.